Hello friends, hello, welcome to another pick up while reading. I am not ready for this one. I am not ready at all because this was supposed to be a reading for Instagram. I have the template and everything ready. I even have all the cards drawn out. But the moment I started to show up for this reading, like with the intention of doing the reading, all I had to do was look at the cards and start channeling. I realized that I didn't want it to be an Instagram reading. I wanted it to be a YouTube reading. So here we are. It's a beautiful day outside. Lovely sky, but I have a slight fever. I have been sick all day long. I was sick yesterday as well. And I thought if I can't go outside and enjoy this nice little day, at least I can turn it into a nice little memory. So, in this reading, we are going to look at your wedding day. I've done a couple of these readings for Instagram before. Maybe that's why I wanted to do it for YouTube instead. And I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about whether or not I'll be able to do justice to this one in this space. Anyway, let's start. Let's move on to the pile selection. We will be using flowers today. Flowers from our garden. Group number 1 is this flower. I believe this is known as Malti. Look at the little buds. So cute. And I love the shade of pink. It's almost maroon, which is often a color worn by Indian brides. So, nice little synchronicity there. Group number 2 is this yellow flower. It's making me think of the Haldi event. I like the movement of this flower. It almost feels cyclical, or for some reason it reminds me of a spiral. So, a beach wedding for somebody here, oh my god! And group number 3 is my personal favorite, Mogra. It smells amazing. This is the jasmine flower, for those who don't know, Indian jasmine. And for some reason, I want to say that it represents purity and simplicity. You're going to smell amazing on your wedding day. People are going to love your perfume. Okay, I will add a little video now with just the flowers in it. And you can pause it there, take all the time that you need, and I will see you in your readings. Group 1. You fell drawn to the pink flowers, or Malti, as I believe. This one wasn't leaning earlier, was it? What is this? This feels like a. And look, both of these are entwined now. What's this about? This feels like a. I don't want to use this term, but it almost feels like a third party situation. I'm not sure what this is. But it's gone now, it's ended, it's not a part of your connection. But maybe that's a sign for you to recognize your person. Maybe there was a third party situation at some point in this connection. Yeah, take that if it resonates. Anyway, we are going to look at your wedding day. I have a list here of all the things I want to see, including the overall environment and atmosphere. How are you feeling on the day? How's your person feeling on the day? What are your guests thinking? Your family, your loved ones? Are there going to be any last minute challenges or hiccups? What will be the most beautiful part of the day? And this might not resonate for everybody, but I also want to look at how far away your wedding day is. Okay, as I mentioned in the intro, I already have all the cards drawn out. So let's just look at them one by one. You have all is well, everything's working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. This is a quote by Louise Hay. You also have the way. How are you feeling on the day? You have the Ten of Swords. This is related to that third party situation again. Okay, we'll see what that's about. How is your person feeling? You have Justice. Oh. How are your guests feeling, or what are they thinking? You have the Six of Pentacles. Oh my. Okay. Okay. That's a nice message to receive. Any last minute hiccups or challenges? You have the Five of Wands. The most beautiful part about the day, you have the Six of Swords. And lastly, how far away is your wedding day? You have Three of Cups. Okay. Let's start. So right away, you have the color blue on these cards, and also all the stars here, the sparkles, the glimmers. I personally associate sparkles, glimmers, orbs of light with spiritual protection, the presence of my spirit guides, ancestors, and things like that. And I think that's the very first message that you need to receive, especially with your affirmation card here, that everything is going to be okay. Even if there are hiccups, last minute troubles on the day, they're not going to manifest into the worst possible outcome, though it kind of feels like that's what you're expecting. Basically, you'll be protected. Nothing bad will happen, even if there are moments where it starts to feel like something might, nothing bad is going to happen. So, right before I showed up for your reading, I felt this energy of, I felt two things actually. I felt the energy of insecurity, and I also felt the energy of wanting to control everything, wanting to make sure that nothing goes wrong. And I felt the energy of someone working hard even on their wedding day. Almost like they're trying to take care of the practicalities, the logistics, they're making sure that nothing will absolutely go wrong. Nothing even has the possibility of going wrong. But it just creates stress for you. And the person who's dealing with that sense of insecurity just feels like they're very conscious of all the eyes on them, and they're hyper aware of what they consider to be their flaws. But the truth is that if people are staring at you, they're really just admiring how you look. With all the blue in your cards, it kind of feels like the word I'm hearing is grace. You will look graceful on the day. Your outfit could be blue, or the groom's outfit could be blue, or maybe the decor is blue. Yeah, something about blue is significant. I'm even thinking of blue flowers right now. Of course, that does not have to resonate for everybody, but there's blue is also the color of royalty. It's the color of spirituality. It's the color of the divine itself. Yeah, there's beauty here. There's grace here. There's there's also a flow here. But for some reason, somebody is expecting a lot of problems, lot of troubles, but they're not going to manifest. Someone might be late. Okay, someone might be a little late, or maybe it kind of feels like they're having to rush through their entire schedule for the day, like getting ready and all of that. Maybe again, it feels like you're worried that you might be late, but in the end, everything is perfectly timed and everything is working out just fine. That's the overall energy of your wedding day. You're expecting a lot of problems, you or your groom or both of you. I mean, that's not right for me to assume that you're the bride or that you will have a groom. But you and your partner both of you, either one of you, just feels like you're expecting trouble, but it's not going to show up. Even if there's a little hint of it, you'll be protected from it. There's also something here about the aisle itself, like the walk that you take to towards the groom, towards your partner, towards the stage, wherever the ceremony is supposed to take place. It's beautifully lit. Or maybe that's just all the cameras on you. I'm not sure. I the decor is going to be amazing for sure. And I keep hearing the word starry night. I mean, I know that that's a Van Gogh painting, but maybe art is significant. Maybe you have a live painter. Oh, that would be nice. That would be so nice. No, but there's something here about the walk itself. What about it? Again, the walk itself feels so graceful. I see a woman carefully taking each and every step. And there might be a lot of cameras, there might be a lot of eyes on you, and you might be conscious. I just heard the word hyperventilating. You might be nervous and scared, either during the walk or right before it, but no one can tell. You appear graceful and gorgeous to everybody around you, but deep inside you're scared, which is natural, I guess, which is to be expected. Anything else, Spirit? Something about this, all of these patterns, these lines, that feels significant too. I'm thinking about tablecloth, is it? The decor is amazing. That's all I'll say. It's like everything has been so intricately planned, so detailed. Yeah. And I wonder if you had a hand in that. It's like you were trying to, again, it's that energy of control again. You wanted everything to be perfect. So you were doing more than what was asked of you so that you could make sure that everything was according to the way that you want. And even if everything isn't exactly what you had expected or wanted, it's still going to be equally graceful. I also just heard the word grateful. It also kind of feels like, what is this? It's almost like a collaborative energy between the spouses, the two people getting married on the day, you and your spouse, you and your fiance. It kind of feels like the stuff that you couldn't take care of, you asked your partner to take care of. And so, even if there were things that you did not know beforehand, there were details that you yourself did not figure out. When you see all of it on the wedding day, you'll be grateful because it's even if it's not exactly what you hoped, it's good enough. Yeah. Yes, something like that. Basically, the overall theme is you're stressing out, you're worried, but on the day itself, you're going to realize it's all perfect, it's all great. Yeah. And all that's really left for you to do is enjoy the day. That's very nice. Okay. Something about the color pink here as well. Yeah, especially since your flower is pink too. What about the pink? Someone's getting drunk. Someone's getting drunk because I just saw flushed cheeks. Like they're somebody's in a very flirtatious energy all of a sudden. They're a little drunk. They're a little tipsy. They might someone's oh god. Someone might have an awkward dance moment, but they're too drunk to realize that. I just saw someone doing I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but the duck dance, like the flapping of the arms. I am not doing it in front of a camera, but yeah, someone acting like a chicken or duck or something like that. Yeah, and everybody's laughing. And again, you might be, because this seems to be your partner, because you might get a little nervous, you might be flustered, you might feel embarrassed. But at the end of it will just be something to laugh about and smile about. In that moment, you might be anxious, but years later, when you've been married to your person for a while already, you're going to be grateful for all of it. I love that. There's also something here about your journey to your future spouse as well. Simply that it's divinely aligned. Again, it's that control freak energy. There's certain stubbornness here. Like you want to do things your way. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just feels like spirit has a different plan for you. Like you want to choose your partner. You want them to be this way. You don't want them to do a weird animal dance in front of everybody. But your spirit guides, your ancestors, yeah, this really feels like ancestors. For somebody, this might be a passed on loved one as well. They have different plans for you. The way card makes me think of someone whose journey to their future spouse has already been set and decided, not in a way that you have no control over it at all. It's not like you will be forced into this, but day after day, you will realize that this is the person that you're supposed to be with. It's a one step at a time journey for you. Yeah. Just accepting that this is the person that you want to be with. I love that. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the specific questions. How are you feeling on the day? You have the Ten of Swords. There are a few possibilities here. Please take whatever resonates. I was talking about a third party situation, right? I believe I was. So this could be talking about, say, an ex. It does not have to be a third party situation within this connection, as in this could really just be an ex that you thought you would be with, but it did not work out. This could also be true for your partner. Or maybe this connection itself has gone through an ending. That does not feel so probable for this collective, but take it if it resonates. The image on this card is that of a divorce. So, yeah, take it however it resonates. Maybe there was a breakup, maybe there was a divorce. There was a painful ending that took place before this wedding. For some reason, you're thinking about it on the wedding day, or you're finally letting it go. It's almost like getting married to this person is what wakes you up and makes you realize that that connection is done, that there's no turning back now. That's interesting. Interesting. I wonder why you're in such an energy, Group 1. Because ever since the beginning, we keep seeing signs of anxiety, overthinking, fear, doubt. I mean, of course, I don't blame you for feeling this way, but yeah, it really just feels like spirit. Maybe that's why this reading is so important for you, because it's almost like spirit keeps saying you don't need to hold on to the past, you don't need to hold on to the fears, you don't need to hold on to the worries that you're clinging on to so hard. You're safe to let go, and you're safe to trust spirit, yourself, this path, this connection. Yeah. The Ten of Swords, even though it talks about endings, it's also a sign of a new beginning. And that's what the wedding day represents for you. Even if you are in a long-term commitment with this person, before you get married to them, it just feels like it takes getting married to them to realize that this is actually happening. This is actually going to possibly be my forever person. Okay. For your person, you have Justice. Now, this is divine counterpart energy. And when I saw this card, I heard, this is it. This is the one. Look at the fact that this person is being blinded by a tree. So it's almost like your partner saying, I'm not going to look at anyone else anymore. I'm not going to have a crush on anyone. I'm not going to admire anyone else's beauty. This is my person. This is the person that I'm going to be loyal to. They are the one. I keep hearing words like they are for life. Yeah, yeah. A person is in that intense commitment mode. This is it. Both of you, in a way, are embodying similar energies on that day, except you are more focused on the past and your person is more focused on the future. Yeah. Justice is also the energy of rationality and morality. This person either has a very strong moral compass, and that's why statements like "I'm not going to look at anyone else" are coming through. Or maybe legality is a significant field or professional, as in this person could be a lawyer or something. Yeah, yeah. There's also Libra energy coming through with this card. And I want to mention the months of September, October, November with these cards. Yeah. Anything else, Spirit? I'm feeling drawn to the blindedness of this card again. Not very sure what this is about. It's almost like this person is not able to see your depth. What's that about, Spirit? Okay, a couple of things here. Maybe on the day, on your wedding day, your person is just this so overtaken by your beauty. They're so, I just heard bamboozled. They're so consumed by the thoughts of how beautiful you look that they can't think of anything else. Yeah. Or maybe they're obsessively thinking about the wedding night. It just feels like their headspace is so, I won't call it light, but it's so straightforward. Like they just have clarity. Like this is it. This is my person. We're actually doing this. This is happening. And it's a very straightforward way of looking at things. They're not allowing their mind to linger anywhere. So I just said that they're thinking about the future. And I guess that might be incorrect too. They're really just rooted in the present moment throughout their wedding day. In a way, you can borrow their presence, you can borrow from their energy because they're really just going through it minute by minute, hour by hour. Yeah. What else? There's something else here. Tell me more about the Justice card. How is Group 1's future spouse feeling on the day? You have the Moon card. See, it's that same energy of being blinded or not being able to see beyond the surface reality, not being able to see the depth of something. Either they themselves are blocking certain emotions, or something about the way that they're perceiving you feels very surface level. Again, it could be that same message of being obsessed with your beauty, but there's something else, almost like they're hiding something or they're refusing to face something. Okay, interesting. I'm hearing now that this person is actually shit scared of the idea of being married to you. Not just to you, but marriage in general. Deep down, they're terrified inside. They're terrified that this is actually happening, and that's why they keep repeating it to themselves just so that that can sink in. Like, yes, this is happening, but they're scared. And they're not allowing themselves to even think of the future because I keep hearing the word responsibility. Almost like they don't want to face how big of a deal this is, especially if your partner is the groom of this connection. Otherwise, this could be your energy as well. I mean, take it however it resonates. We are looking at both your energy and your person's energy. See, just now, but I just mentioned that we're looking at both your energy and your person's energy. It almost felt like a detour. It almost felt like I was distracting myself from channeling the messages. And that seems to be a person's energy too. Like they're looking for any distraction they can. They just don't want to face the truth that this is a big deal, that this is a big responsibility. And they're the one, something you're about, especially if this is a masculine energy who believes in traditional gender roles, they're having a hard time accepting that they will have to be the one to provide for their partner. Yeah, yeah. Something's hiding, something's lurking underneath the surface. But it's bound to come out at some point or another. It's going to show up. More than anything, it feels very personal to a person, like their fears, their worries, their anxieties. I'm amazed by the amount of mirroring in both of your energies, your thoughts, your emotions. Except one of them is allowing themselves to indulge in those thoughts quite a bit, and the other one is just trying to suppress them to the bottom. Yeah, yeah. Or maybe it will pass with time. Like they will figure out a way to take care of these worries as they go. Okay. What are your guests thinking? You have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, the first thing I heard was this is a rich wedding. So that's why I was laughing at the beginning, because this person is why did I just say this person? It's a group of people, or maybe it's talking about someone specific. I'm looking at the dog. How do you word this? Taking their tongue out. I'm not sure. Almost feels like they're a little jealous. Someone's jealous, or maybe they're just impressed. They're impressed by the decor. We did talk about how royal and graceful everything seems, how royal and graceful the bride seems. Or you do. Yeah, this person seems to be a little jealous. They might they might use humor as a way of coping with their envy. So they might make fun of everybody and everything. Yeah. But more than anything, your guests are very impressed. They're impressed of all the money that has gone into the wedding and how beautiful everything looks, how expensive everything looks. And someone here is worried about their gift. They're worried that their gifts are their gift to the couple is not good enough or something like that. Almost like they arrive at the venue, they realize that it's an expensive place and the food's amazing, everybody looks amazing, and they bought um, I don't know, a pressure cooker or something. Yeah. Yeah, but overall, everybody's impressed. They're impressed by the more tangible physical aspects of this wedding. Any last minute hiccups that might show up. Five of Wands. This is a card of conflict. But it doesn't have to be in this one. This woman standing in front of everybody and the people at the back sort of judging her or something. I wonder if something goes wrong with um, the bride's or the groom's outfit. Maybe there's a delay. Something happens on the wedding day that has people gossiping a little bit. It does not have to be an argument or a conflict or a fight per se, which is what this card represents. It could be something tiny and yet it has people talking. Yeah. What else could this be? I'm thinking of a lost earring, for instance. That's what I'm saying. It does not have to be a big deal at all, and it still makes people a little, what's the word, on the edge. You know, like, oh my god, did this really happen? We should look around for the earrings. It's one of those things that you you make a lot worse just by overreacting to it, you know? Yeah. That doesn't mean that your worries are not valid. You're allowed to be concerned about this day, especially since you seem to want for this day to be perfect. And this gossip energy is not helping. But it's gonna be fine. I'm going to get another card for this. Yeah, I do feel like there's something here about timing. Like someone gets late, someone's waiting for a while. Yeah, that's what it feels like. And someone else is having to defend themselves. Like, this is the reason why I'm late. This could also be like one of the rituals, or maybe something. Yeah, going back to that message about something getting lost, you'll find it. Everything will work out perfectly. That's for sure. But there will be that window of anxiety. Anything else, Spirit? Okay. That's it. Let's move on then. I kind of don't want to. And I think it might be a sign that a part of you may still be, again, it's that Ten of Swords energy. You might be having a hard time letting this moment go. Either you're angry, you're frustrated, you're still a little shaken up. Yeah. You're all nerves on that day, basically. And again, it's human, it's to be expected, it's natural. But I really believe that the reason why this reading is here, teaching you today, is so that you don't turn the day worse than it needs to be. Yeah. No matter what happens at your wedding, it's all going to turn out okay. Okay. The most beautiful part about the day, you have the Six of Swords. Okay. This could be so many things. This could be, for instance, the marriage vows, the wedding vows. This could also be, I thought of Bidai, for instance. I'm against Bidai, but still, it could be representing that moment where both of you are finally married and you're ready to start your new life together. And I also saw that scene from Twilight, I believe. I watched it years ago, the movie, which is based on the book, of course. But I saw that scene where, um, what are their names? Edward and Bella? Bella? Yeah. I saw the scene where both of them get married and they drive away in their car off to their honeymoon. So those are the three things I thought of. The words that are exchanged between the two of you, so even if there are no wedding vows per se, the conversation that you have with each other, you and your partner. And in that moment, you will realize that they genuinely do care for you, and this is somebody worth committing yourself to. I know that might sound strange, especially if you you've been in a relationship for a while before you get married. A part of you might be like, then why do I have to? Why am I only realizing these things on the day itself? But it's like it's that last click. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Or the moment you two drive away after your honeymoon. Yeah, even the fact that these two people are traveling. So I wonder if there's some sort of a discussion about where to go on your honeymoon. Of course, you could have had that planned beforehand. So it's just a discussion like, are you excited about that trip? Or maybe you're actually having that conversation for the first time on the day itself. It could be anything at all. Italy or Venice specifically could be significant. Travel by water or to a coastal place could also be significant, more specifically for your honeymoon. Now, lastly, you have, how far away is your wedding day? You have the Three of Cups here. Now, here's the thing. The Three of Cups could represent the next 3 months. It could represent the next 3 years. It could also be referring to the third quarter of a year, which would bring us pretty close to that time frame I mentioned earlier, September, October, November. And it is a period of 3 months. Interesting. But when I saw this card, I thought of a group of three people. This could be three siblings, it could be three cousins, three any other family members, people who are the same age. This could be three friends, three co-workers. It just feels like there's a domino effect here. There's a domino of weddings here. Like one person gets married and then you get married and then another person gets married. It could also be you kick-starting this domino, it could be you ending this domino. Take it however it resonates. But the number 3 is somehow significant. I just saw 33, 13, that's confirmation. 13 is also Scorpio energy. It's that same time frame again, October, November. These 3 months are definitely important for this collective. The month of March could also be important. What is this, Spirit? What else could this be? I also keep thinking of the year 2023, which is in the past. So I don't know how that's significant. Maybe it's someone that you met in 2023. Or 3 years from 2023 would be 2026. So for somebody, it might indeed be the next 3 months. Who knows? Because it would take us to September, October, November. Although we haven't started with August yet. Yeah. Tell me more, Spirit. Let's get a couple more time frames for this group and then we'll end the reading. Significant time frames for group 1's wedding. You have the King of Wands. That's not a time frame at all. One more. You have the Hierophant and the Page of Swords. Okay. The Hierophant is Taurus energy. And with the King of Wands here, the Page of Swords here, the Hierophant as well, it kind of feels like someone else is deciding when you get married. So some of you, this could be a parental figure if you're having an arranged marriage. But I'm also thinking of this as your partner, like your partner deciding when exactly you're ready to get married. Yeah. That's not a time frame, Spirit. See, the Hierophant, I would interpret it as the year 2025, which is again, it's in the past. So, yeah. Let's just say 3 years. 3 years from now. Or within the next 3 years. Which could be whenever. Specifically, that window I keep mentioning, September to November, as well as Taurus season. We have March here. Yeah. You also have fire and air placements here, just in case that's a confirmation for someone. Okay, group 1. I am going to leave your reading here. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Group 2. I mentioned in the intro that I am not well. I've had a slight fever today. I've been sick since yesterday, but during group number 1's reading, and I'm not blaming them in any way, I started to feel a little nasal blockage. So if you hear a nasal voice, please don't be annoyed. I can't help it. I'm more annoyed than you, so. Anyway, you fell drawn to the yellow flower. I just realized the very fact that I apologized for having a cold. I wonder if somebody is a little what's the word? What would be the word? It's like they're trying to make sure they don't take too much space, or at least they don't cause any inconvenience to anybody. Yeah, that's kind of what's coming through. Like, I just want to make sure nobody faces any inconvenience because of me. This is either your energy or a person's energy, and regardless of whose energy it is, it just feels like the other person, the partner, the fiance, is comforting the person who's dealing with this emotion of, I'm not even sure what this is. It just feels like somebody wants to box themselves in. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to your reading. As I mentioned, I have already drawn out all of your cards, and we are going to look at the overall environment or atmosphere on the day. We're going to see how you'll be feeling on the day, how your person will be feeling, what your guests will be thinking, any last minute challenges or hiccups that you might have to deal with, what will be the most beautiful part about the day, and for the last part I might have to get a couple of extra cards because we are going to look at how far away your wedding day is. Okay, let's start. you have, there's no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I am being guided to learn and grow. I love all the yellow. Interesting, because the yellow also, it makes me think of, you do have a yellow flower here, you fell drawn to the yellow flower. So it either makes me think of spring or it makes me think of autumn. Like I'm specifically thinking of mountains with all the dry grass and all the naked trees. Yeah, I don't know why I saw that. Maybe mountains are significant, or the color yellow, specifically in terms of the weather, the environment, feels important. Or the trees, maybe the trees have yellow leaves. I'm even thinking of, I believe, I know the name, is it Amalthas or Laburnum? There's a specific flower that grows, at least it grows in India. I don't know about anywhere else. So maybe you have trees around you with yellow flowers. Maybe there's a lot of yellow in the decor. This could be sunflowers, it could be yellow tulips. It does not have to be laburnum per se, it does not have to be amalthas. But yellow is somehow important. I'm even thinking of sunsets where the sky is surprisingly yellow. Like, even though the sunset colors are usually more orange and peachy, somehow there's this brightness to the sky. There's something different about the earth itself on the day. Yeah, golden energy. That's what I've been connecting with. There will either be a beautiful sunrise or sunset on the day, or the colors of the sky will be amazing. Something will stand out, and it will feel magical, and it will add more beauty to the day, even if it's not planned. I love that. Okay, you also have found in the river more yellow. I just saw a visual of someone giving their spouse a surprise gift right before the wedding. Like they're meeting them in secret, in person, and giving them a little gift, like a little necklace or bracelet or something, or some sort of a token of luck. Yeah, it's a very heartfelt gesture. Something unexpected is happening on the day itself, and it will just feel magical. Okay, I believe the sunset is happening as we speak, so I'm just going to get some light for the reading. Surprise, surprise, we have yellow light. Oh, I love this. I don't even know what this is yet, even though I'm trying to guess. It's just there's something gold in here, something special, something magical. It's going to be a good day. I feel like that's a very generic message. Like, it's your wedding day, obviously it's going to be good. There's something about it, it just feels unexpected and like a surprise from the earth, from universe, from your partner. And that is the cherry on top. Okay, let's move on. I'm a little out of breath. Maybe that's how you will feel when you receive the surprise. Let's move on. How are you feeling on the day? You have the star. Oh my god. How is your person feeling all the day? You have the line of cups. I'm gonna cry. Okay, calm down, Maitri. It's fine. How are your guests? Or what are your guests thinking? You have the Seven of Cups. What is this? That's not a nice energy. I'm going to ignore that. Any last minute hiccups that you might have to deal with? You have the Two of Cups. This is that secret meeting. Okay. The most beautiful part about the day, you have strength. Yeah, I'm going to be all flustered in this reading, which will be your energy as well. And how far away is your wedding day? You have the Temperance card, which actually it was in reverse, so we will take that into account. Okay. I did talk about the golden energy, right? And that came out as part of the overall environment or atmosphere of your wedding day. There's no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I'm being guided to learn and grow. Found in the river. It almost feels like this connection itself is unexpected. Like you never expected to run into this person. Interesting. Maybe that's why temperance was in reverse. Some of you might get married a lot sooner than you would imagine. It's like it's a very, it's not like this connection is fast paced, but when you meet this person, you will be so sure of them that there would be no longer any reason to wait. Yeah, maybe that's why the Seven of Cups is here. And found in the river, it has that energy of divine alignment, divine protection, a surprise, gift, something being offered to you. Okay, there are two possibilities here. Actually, there's just one possibility, but it might manifest in different ways for all of you. But the biggest scenario that I'm seeing for all of you, the most common or possible scenario, probable scenario, is that you may be dating a lot of different people, trying to find your future spouse. You may even be single for a very long time. Yeah. Something about you looking for options, going through options. That's the energy coming through here. And nothing seems to be working out. And then when you find this person, it just feels so right that you don't want to delay your union anymore. Yeah. That's why this energy of Seven of Cups is here. Because your guests are wondering if it's the right choice. If you made a move too fast, or if you should have waited a bit longer. Someone here, I'm thinking of like nosy uncles and aunties. It kind of feels like they are trying to pitching somebody to you. It's like someone's nephew or niece or something. And the fact that you choose your future spouse over that particular person, over your uncle's or aunt's choice or whoever this is, they're feeling a little annoyed by that. Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of feels like someone's expectations are not being fulfilled, as if that matters. You're the one who has to get married. It really doesn't matter what they're thinking about your person. Yeah, but there's something here about timing, and maybe these thoughts are the fact that this message is showing up as part of the overall energy of the day. So it could be possible that a lot of people are thinking this way, and it might even get to you a little bit, wondering if you made a mistake, if you rushed into this, if you should have waited longer. But with found in the river here, I will read aloud the message from the guidebook. Below the constant movement, there's something waiting to be discovered. It's this, it's the energy of your inner compass. It's this sense of innate knowing, like I know that this is right. I know that this person is right for me. I know that this is the person that I've been looking for. Yeah. And your only task is to protect that confidence. And maybe that's why there's so much magic in the air on the wedding day, because Spirit wants to make sure that you know that you're on the right path. It doesn't matter what everybody else is thinking. You feel it. You feel the love. You feel the connection. You feel the potential. You feel that this is something that can be worked hard upon and for, and it can be built into something beautiful. I'm thinking of the flowers again, the laburnum flowers that I was talking about, and how it's usually it looks like a vine and it spreads across walls and across big trees, and I love it so much. This kind of what it's also the energy of abundance. I love this so much. You feel the potential for abundance in this connection, the abundance of this connection. No one else can sense it. That golden energy, you can see it, you can feel it, you can feel it in your heart, and you just have to trust it. There's no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. This connection is meant for you. Even though the river in the background kind of makes me think of a divine flow. Yeah. there's almost there's a sense of serendipity here, almost like it was written for you, and you were always being led to it. And that's why you have the Star and the Nine of Cups for your feelings, your person's feelings. Both of you see each other as each other's, as your wish fulfillments. You see each other's. Oh, I just heard the star of your hearts, the North Stars. Yeah. Yeah, this is that same energy of following your heart, following your inner compass. Both of you feel like you were always being led to each other. This was always supposed to happen. Even the way that you meet each other, the way you run into each other. Yeah, I was talking about how there's something unexpected about the connection itself. It feels serendipitous, feels magical, feels divinely aligned. Yeah. And your only task is to trust that. With the star showing up for your energy, look at this woman. She looks beautiful. You will look so like you don't belong to the earth, on the earth. You will look like you're from a star, from a whole different galaxy. Not in the sense that you're an alien. I'm not trying to call you an alien. You just look ethereal and otherworldly, and yeah, I keep hearing things like out of this world. Yeah, yeah. There's also a lot of grace here. Um, I wonder if somebody is going to dance or sing. It's going to be a beautiful performance because I just thought of ballet for some reason, especially like a contemporary dance, even though that's not very wedding friendly, I guess. But something will, or it's just your energy itself. I wanted to say that something will express your beauty in front of the world. Something that you do, it will look, how should I put this into words? It's sort of acting like a statement, like everybody is going to witness your beauty, your ethereal self, your untouchable self, like a star glowing off in the distance, or like a shooting star. It's something that you're doing. Maybe it's your clothes, maybe it's the way that you're so gracefully sitting, or maybe a performance that you do, something that you say, read aloud. Not very sure. Your energy itself, your presence itself, it just speaks volumes. Even if you're quiet, like this person, they're looking downwards, so they're coming across as shy. Yeah, not in a negative way, but not even in a conscious way. It's a very light-hearted. No, that's not the right word either. it's just, it's a very present and grounded energy, but it's also very humble. Like you're not so self-conscious. You're not thinking too much about or of yourself. You're just there. And this, it's a very quiet confidence. Like I know I look good and I don't need to obsess about it. I don't need to think about it. And your energy will speak for itself, and everybody will be a witness to it. Your partner will be obsessed with you. I love that so much. With the Nine of Cups here, someone could be drinking a little, aka your partner, that I think they might, because I'm seeing someone whispering a lot of naughty things in the partner's ear. Say they might be, your partner might be giving you a lot of compliments throughout the day, throughout the night, whenever this may be happening. Although it does feel like a nighttime wedding for many of you, but take it if it resonates. Oh my god. Okay. You know the part where I was saying that your person might meet you in person in secret and give you a little something. You have the Two of Cups and the Strength cards here, which are supposed to be your biggest challenge and also the most beautiful part about the day. I wonder, because I just heard the word rendezvous, so I wonder if you'll have a little heated, spicy moment before the wedding ceremony and you're a little anxious because you don't want to be caught. Or on this card, the woman is caught by surprise. So again, you're feeling a little like this is out of the blue. This is unexpected. What if we get caught? What if? Yeah, that seems to be your biggest fear. Like your person will try to see you before the ceremony, away from the public and you're scared that it won't be looked upon too nicely, and someone here might have a little moment before. Maybe that's why you're feeling so shy, because you're still thinking about that steamy little moment that you're sharing with your person. Oh my god, I love this. I love this, yeah. Yeah, so with strength card here, the most beautiful part about the day is just this tension between you and your person. You can't wait for the ceremony to be over and to share a bed. Oh my god, I just heard that. Or just to start life together. Or you know what? I don't even think that either one of you is thinking about the future or the wedding night. You're just in that moment and full of emotions, full of hormones. Your body is in a constant state of heat and passion just by sitting next to your person, by holding their hand, by taking pictures. It just feels like you're overwhelmed by their very presence. And your person might specifically be quite vocal about that. So I'm thinking of that trend now where the bridesmaids, they print out Polaroids, spicy Polaroids of the bride, and they secretly send it to the groom, give it to the groom. Yeah, something like that might be happening on your wedding day too. There's a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of passion here. And both of you, see, that's why it doesn't matter what anyone else is thinking. Because your connection with each other is so strong. Like, you're not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about the decor, you're not thinking about the problems, you're not thinking about, even your biggest problem is about trying to deal a spicy moment. Come on. You're not thinking about the logistics or the practicalities. If something goes wrong during the wedding, you don't care. You don't care. You're just happy to be there with your person. And you can't think about anything else other than them. Gosh, I love this so much. Both of you are overwhelmed and obsessed in the best way possible. That, as you should be for your wedding day. Yeah. Is that it, spirit? I can feel my own body temperature rising. Oh god. Okay. Lastly, for your time frame, you have Temperance here, which came out in reverse. Temperance can be a few things. This is a number 14 card, so 14 could be a significant number, date, sign. It's also Sagittarius energy. Someone could have Sagittarius placements or Sagittarius season, which is the end of the year, November, December, that might be significant. And since this came out in reverse, for somebody here, and take it only if it resonates, I wonder if this is actually happening before this year ends. Whichever year you're watching this in, if it's going to be now or a couple of years later, it doesn't matter. Something will happen before the year ends. Either you will meet this person, and again, remember the connection itself. It feels like it's moving too fast, or at least both of you decide that you want to be married pretty quickly. So maybe the decision itself is happening before the year ends. There are so many possibilities here, but the end of the year is definitely an important time frame, whichever year you're watching this. And it could be for different stages. So if you don't know who your future spouse is, if you haven't met them yet, maybe you will get a sign about them before the year ends during Sagittarius season. Maybe somebody will meet them during Sagittarius season, or maybe someone will get proposed or get married before or during Sagittarius season. Yeah. With the star here, you have Aquarius placements, Aquarius season energies. With the Nine of Cups, you also have strength here, so Leo season energy could also be important. And you have Nine of Cups, Seven of Cups, Two of Cups, so water signs are definitely important. And the Nine of Cups also made me think of September for some reason. Yeah. 9 days, 9 weeks from now. Is that it, spirit? Is that it? You know how Temperance is a number 14 card, which is, if you were to interpret it as 14 days, it's 2 weeks, something's happening within a time frame of 2 weeks. It doesn't have to mean that you meet your person one day and then 2 weeks later they engage, not at all. But like I'm thinking of someone planning a proposal in 2 weeks rather than for months. Yeah, that seems quite probable. Someone planning a proposal in 2 weeks. Or, yeah, I don't think it would be someone getting married within 2 weeks of being proposed, but who knows? Who knows? Take it if it resonates, okay? All I know is that even if it looks fast paced to others on the surface, deep down you just know that it's right timing. Temperance is actually a very slow moving energy. It's the energy of balance, of harmony, of flow, and the fact that it came out in reverse, yeah. Something will feel rushed and it will still be perfectly timed. Trust it. Trust the flow of this connection. Yeah. Okay, group 2, that was your reading. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Group 3. You felt drawn to the Mogra, the energy of serenity, peace, purity, and I'm also thinking of lotuses now, so that could be a sign for this group. Your perfume on your wedding day, everybody's going to love it. And just say that you're going to smell amazing. I'm even thinking of Itra right now, so even if your perfume is not very loud and strong, you are going to smell amazing to yourself. Oh wow, okay. I just saw a visual of someone admiring themselves in the mirror. So it's like you don't even care about the compliments because you know you look amazing. I love that. Okay. So, as I mentioned in the intro, I have all the cards pulled out already. And in this reading, we are going to look at the overall environment or atmosphere of your wedding day, how you will be feeling on that day, how your person will be feeling on the day, what are your guests thinking, any last minute challenges or hiccups that you'll have to deal with, the most beautiful part about the day. And I might have to get a couple of extra cards for this, maybe not. But I'm also going to look at how far away your wedding day is. Yeah, let's start. Okay. You have, when I move my body, I feel empowered, cleansed, and strong. Someone's starting the day strong, like they're having a nice little workout. Nice. And you have connect. Yeah. It's almost like you're having a whole little ritual by yourself during the day. You're meditating, you're going out for a run, you're working out, and you're establishing a very strong, stable, grounded connection with your body. Yeah. Almost like you know that you will otherwise feel shaken up or overwhelmed or nervous or anxious or something. And so you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, that you don't leave any room for last minute jitters. Yeah. It does feel like you're trying to control your physical and emotional reactions, your emotional body, but it's genuinely out of a desire to take care of yourself, you know. There's a lovely self-love energy here. I love it. Yeah. Maybe you're actually an introvert and you don't spend so much time around people. I'm even thinking of family relatives that you don't like, and how you just want to make sure that you're not triggered by them, something that they say. So it really just feels like you're preparing yourself right in the morning, spending some alone time, taking the time to acknowledge that this is an important day, it's a big deal, and taking the time to acknowledge what it truly means. Yeah. And making sure that you're poised and graceful and mature, acting maturely, moving with maturity, something of that sort. Just doing a good job. I don't like that so much, but okay. Just you're trying to make sure that you appear perfect in front of everybody. or like you have it all together, like you're not nervous at all. Yeah. Which can be both a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, you should be able to allow yourself to feel everything that you're feeling, but at the same time, if you want to be present and grounded on the day, that's good too. Yeah. Okay. How will you be feeling on the wedding day? You have the sun card. That's the card of happiness. Oh, I'm so much in love and this is the best day ever. That's the energy. How your person will be feeling. You have the death card. What are your guests thinking? You have the hermit. Sorry if I sounded so low while sharing that card. We'll see what that's about. Any last minute hiccups you'll have to deal with? You have the Ten of Pentacles. The most beautiful part about the day, you have the Magician doing your makeup. That's the best part about the day, getting ready. I love that. And how far away is your wedding day? You have the King of Swords. Okay, where do I even start? The messages are so simple here. And it kind of feels like, again, it's that same energy as wanting to make sure that everything goes smoothly. That you are, again, all poised and well put together, not just physically but mentally and emotional as well, and everything else goes smoothly. You don't want any mistakes or hiccups. With the Sun card here, it kind of feels like, I'm going to get another clarifier for the Connect card, but with the Sun card here, you're just happy that this day is here, which is interesting because it makes me wonder if it almost feels like your happiness of getting married. I just saw 1 hour 11 minutes and 11 seconds. So 1111 11111 five times. It almost feels like your your desire for a wedding itself is bigger than the desire to be married to your person. Which is not to say that you're not grateful for them or you don't love them or anything. Like I just heard, I thought this day would never come. Yeah, so the fact that it's happening in the first place, that you're getting married in the first place, that's such a big deal for you. Maybe because you waited for it for a very long time. You were single for a long time. Yeah. Maybe that's what the Connect card is about. Tell me more about Connect. Yeah, it's the same energy of wanting to make sure that you don't have an emotional outburst or you don't fall into a trap of overthinking, over worrying. You have the devil at the back of the deck. I'm not very sure what this is, but really, I just feel like you're happy to be married rather than happy to be with this person. It's not like you don't like this person or you don't love them or you don't want to get married to them. But it just feels like getting married is a bigger deal to you. That's it. That's all the Sun card is saying. And you're happy. You're happy. You're happy that it's finally happening. Tell me more about the Sun card, please, Spirit. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles. Again, it's like you've been preparing for this for a while. You've been waiting for this for a while. Oh, so it could also be you being in a commitment with somebody for a very long time and them taking a really long time, an even longer time to propose to you, to actually consider the idea of getting married to you. So you're, in that sense as well, you're grateful that it's happening. That I also wonder because the Sun card is also childbirth slash pregnancy or family or home related energy. Like it's a card of childhood, inner child energy, having kids, having a family, having pets, things like that. It makes me wonder if you have always wanted to be a parent or get married, have a home, have a family, and because it was taking so long, you were worried that you would lose that opportunity, that window. Yeah. Something about this day just feels relieving. Like, we'll see what happens afterwards, but for now, I'm just glad that this is happening. I kind of want to shake you by the shoulders and ask you to let it all out, because it kind of feels like it's not even like you're trying to suppress your emotions or thoughts. You're just trying so hard. I'm seeing a doll, for instance. You're trying so hard to fit a certain box, a certain mold that you have shaped for yourself. Yeah. And it's all about how you want to how you want to appear in front of the world. Yeah. I also feel like you're dealing with this day in a very practical manner, a very straightforward, analytical. Again, it's that energy of, nothing should go wrong, and I'm not going to allow my emotions or my thoughts to get in the way. I'm not going to allow bad things to happen, or at least I will not worry too excessively about things that are not under my control and just focus on the things that are. Yeah, it's a very controlled, contained energy. I mean, I don't want to judge you or make you feel judged. If it works for you, then great. But the Sun card is it's one of the happiest cards in the deck. And even though it's showing up for your energy, I wonder if you're actually genuinely allowing yourself to feel all of that happiness. Yeah. Tell me more about the Death card, please, Spirit. Your person's energy. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Because why are they crying? Why? Why are they crying? Eight of Pentacles. Okay, I don't like this message, but that's what I'm seeing here. So I'm just going to say it. And you don't have to take it if it does not resonate. If this is not the kind of person that you want to be with, then don't take it. It almost feels like they're sad to lose their freedom. Freedom, whatever that means. Yeah, the idea of a commitment scares them. Or this could have some inner child or past stuff related to it. Like, I'm thinking of kids who grow up seeing dysfunctional families, and maybe they've seen their families, they've seen a lot of divorces in their family, and they're worried that getting married, I mean, you can only get divorced if you get married, right? So they're worried that getting married was the wrong decision, or maybe that's why they were delaying it for so long, because they're scared that they're going to screw it up somehow. Yeah. Again, I'm going to say the same thing for your person as I said for you. It's not like they're not happy to be with you. It's not like they're not happy to get married to you. There is love here. There is commitment here. There is a desire to start this life together. See, even as I'm saying this, I feel a little bit of hesitation. But there are also so many fears. There's also so much stuff hiding underneath the surface that both of you are not letting out, that you should maybe have addressed before you got married, but it takes a wedding to make you realize that those fears are there in the first place. Wow, that's an intense energy. Good thing that you're taking care of your body on that day and yourself emotionally, because I feel like a part of you might actually know this. A part of you knows that your person is scared of being married. Maybe you've had this conversation before. Yeah. Anything else about the Death card, Spirit? The King of Pentacles. So something about their career, especially since you had the Eight of Pentacles before. Maybe they're receiving a bad news about their career on the day, or something else. One more, please, Spirit. Because you're receiving a bunch of good cards, but at the same time, it's like a lot of hidden worries, subconscious fears are taking over. King of Swords and Justice at the back of the deck. Yeah. Death is also the energy of transformation, so I wonder if one of the biggest reasons why a person has chosen to not consider the idea of a marriage so far in your relationship is interesting that I'm talking about it as if it's already happening, as if the person is in front of you. So for some of you, this could very well be someone that you're in a commitment with. So one of the reasons why they could be delaying the prospects of getting married to you is because of a lack of career stability. And the fact that this wedding day has come is a sign that they're over that hump. They're over the fear that they will never have the stability to provide for somebody, to be in a long-term commitment with somebody. Yeah, these tears could be happy tears. It could be, it's similar to your energy. It could be them feeling relieved. Yeah, there are so many possibilities coming through here. I'm thinking of a very specific book right now, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. In that book, there's a couple get married like within 4 months or something, and the woman's visa is about to run out, so getting married helps her stay in the country. And I'm thinking of a situation like that as well. So take it if it resonates. Again, if you don't want to be with somebody like that, you don't have to claim this reading at all. But it kind of feels like this wedding is saving them in some way. Yeah, financially, materially, something, something. What's crazy is that even though there is potential for happiness here, I don't see either one of you embodying it on the day. Your minds are on other things, on worries that you're now being released from, which in itself is a good thing, of course. But yeah, that's what's coming through. Tell me more about the Hermit, please, Spirit. Four of Cups, oh God. So these are the thoughts of your guests. Now here's the thing. With the Hermit here and this woman looking at a glass of champagne, wine, whatever this is, mm, almost felt like your guests are talking about your spouse, saying something about you or your spouse, something related to your current circumstances. Yeah, so for instance, if your person is out of a job or their living situation is a little messed up, I don't want to say this, I don't want to give this message, Spirit, but with this image of alcohol in it, I wonder, like, it kind of felt like someone was saying that, do they know, does group 3 know that their partner has a drinking problem? It does not have to be that, it does not have to be that at all. It's a very specific example and it's just there to illustrate the energy. It kind of feels like your guests are talking about, are engaging in some amount of gossip, and they're wondering if the couple itself is aware of that gossip. Interesting. With the death card here, I also wonder if your person is missing somebody on the day, like a passed on loved one. For someone, this is a pet. It kind of feels like they're missing that person on the day and they're wishing that they could have been with them to see the wedding day. But the hermit feels like gossip energy. Not very nice. And I'm also thinking of how some people tend to become more talkative after they're a little tipsy, which could be happening with your guests as well. Yeah, it just feels like they're sharing secrets about you, your partner, during the wedding day. Yeah. And the fact that you have 10 of Pentacles for your biggest challenge on the day as well, your family. Something, this has a lot of talking energy on it too. So, something about your families not being able to keep their mouths shut. That's coming through here. People gossiping, people, or maybe this is a lot of unsolicited opinions. the adults in your family trying to tell you what to do and how to go about it and things like that. They might call it worry, as in they're worried about you, but it's really just their thoughts and opinions and them feeling the need, them feeling the entitlement to tell you how you should do things. I'm a little annoyed by this energy. Don't mind, please. Yeah. I don't like some of these messages. I wonder if this is one specific person who's creating so much chaos. Because with the Hermit card, I also received the message that someone's wondering whether you were better off alone. Yeah. I believe you already know everything that's being talked about among your guests. You already know everything about your partner. You know the secrets, you know the problems that they're dealing with, and your partner knows everything about you too. Like both of you have very practically, with care, with intention, with your own empowered, free choices, arrived at this decision to get married to each other. And that in itself is enough, and even your affirmation card, it talks about movement, it talks about intentional movement. So yeah, with the connect card here as well, both of you have together arrived at this decision, and there are no secrets here. There is no reason to be worried, but it's all the talking around you, it's all the gossip around you that's a little bothersome. Yeah, but otherwise it's all good. There's nothing to be scared of, is what I want to say. You don't have to worry about this person somehow betraying you or cheating on you or anything. Everything's already out in the open. You were just hoping that it wouldn't go out in front of everybody else, but it might. Word might spread about whatever is going on with you or your person specifically, more specifically. Otherwise, everything will be fine. So I'm also thinking of this as this one specific event or moment during the wedding where things become a little messy or chaotic. Somebody's crying. I don't know who though. It just feels like someone's crying, someone's making a scene, something's happening here. And it might feel shocking to you in the moment. But again, it's I want to say it's nothing unexpected. You're shocked that it happens, but you're not shocked about the details of the event itself. Oh god, I have no idea if that's making sense. In the end, all will be good, is what I want to say. Yeah. With the Sun card, I'm noticing how I'm jumping back and forth between your cards. For everyone else, I was more so in a flow. I wonder if for somebody here there is a back and forth energy. Like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be choosing someone else, be with someone else? Yeah, there could be a little back and forth inside your head, but overall, I believe that it will be good. It will all flow. Yeah. So with the Sun card here, it seems you have a few fantasies about being married to a person. And I think this is coming across as your guidance, like connecting with those fantasies, allowing yourself to indulge in those daydreams. That will help you feel a bit more upbeat on your wedding day. Yeah. So the best part about the day is getting ready. It's getting your makeup done. It's putting on your outfit. It's taking pictures. It's that awareness. I look amazing. I know it. Yeah. Yeah, I also think the magician is here to say that your outfit and you will look exactly the way that you had pictured it. Yeah, maybe that's why we connected with that energy of fantasy earlier. Maybe we can even extend this message to say that everything about your wedding day, everything about the decor, the food, the cake, all of it, the flowers, everything will be exactly as you had hoped, as you had pictured it. Yeah. the beauty of your wedding day will be the best part. Now, you have the King of Swords here for time frames. So, this is a very clear message. Your partner will decide when the two of you get married. I can get a clarifier here. Air signs could be significant. You have the Ten of Pentacles again. Really? One more, please, Spirit. You have the Six of Wands. So, someone's finances and career are definitely, yeah, you have the Five of Pentacles here. Someone's finances are controlling the flow of this journey, and whether or not they can even afford a wedding, you know. Someone's living situation, someone might need their family's approval before they propose to you. Yeah, something like that. But it kind of feels like the timing of your wedding, it's not under your control. Yeah, even more so if you don't even know who this person is yet, if they haven't even entered your life yet. Yeah. Yeah, that's why that sense of relief. I'm glad this day is here. It's finally here. I thought it would never come. Yeah, so air signs, someone who's, I want to say someone who's in communication. This could also be publishing, it could be research, it could be media, journalism. All of these fields could be important. A professor as well, a very hot professor at that. I don't want to have a crush on the King of Swords, for God's sake, it's an anime character. Yeah, someone with glasses, grey or white hair. I'm also thinking of I don't know what they're called. Is it white blonde? The kind of blonde that's closer to the shades of grey and white. Someone with that hair. Someone who wears a lot of monochrome colors. Yes. Very interestingly, there's a fixation here on the physical aspects, physical characteristics of this person. So broad shoulders, a really nice muscular upper body, nice hands as well, tall, lean, nice jawline, a long neck, a long thick neck. Yeah, and someone looks really good in formal clothes. Yeah, both of you will look like a very graceful couple. Yeah, and there's a seriousness to your energies as well. Again, that's not a bad thing. I'm just having a hard time sitting with it because I am not very serious. Hey, is there anything else, Spirit? Yeah, this person's going to be hot. That's where I will leave your reading, Group 3. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Yay!